Oh, it's bad luck to be us. There's one more Bard adventure to discuss. Last time we went to bat, Bard scared women with a rat. Also, there were some homophobic slurs. I'm so glad it's over because I seriously can't anymore. Doodly-doo.
Beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A long time ago, way back in history, when all there was to drink was nothing but cups of tea. Along came a man by the name of Charlie Moss, and he invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops. He must have been around below the something or a king. One to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. Lord bless Charlie Moss.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Heyo.
John whatever that guy's name is, Brandon. Mananan Brandon.
Man on man. He was man on man.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about classic RPGs, generally.
But not today.
No, today we are finishing our Bard's Tale series.
Really, though, what is a classic RPG?
It ain't this.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense. Fair enough.
I promised myself I'd have a roundly 4 at the end of this
hey.
episode, though.
That's
It's
a positive
true.
outlook.
I'm going to end it on a positive
That's
We
good.
note.
don't want to be
Good.
negative Nellies.
Yeah, we do.
Well, Matt does, but that's Matt's job.
We will say, I think this is worth saying again. It's okay to like this game, or any game. There are just certain things about it that we found to be really gross and kind of colored the game in a negative way, but it's okay to like this game.
I think it's a good lesson to game developers now. If you're wanting to make a game that will last the test of time, maybe don't put references to how minority groups are terrible, because probably culture will surpass you, and then you'll be left behind.
Remember that women exist and they have opinions.
Wrong
The
opinions.
crone has an opinion. Her opinion is sucker.
So before we finish this up, let's talk about how we leveled up. John, you go first. You look like you're chomping at the bit to get at this thing tonight.
Champing at the bit.
Champing
Oh.
at the bit. Excuse me, Matthew.
Yeah.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah, Jim, don't ruin
Jesus.
that expression.
Jesus.
Cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice.
All right, so I leveled down this weekend.
A
little bit.
Almost.
Just a tiny bit. Because I haven't seen the new Star Wars film yet. By the time this episode airs, I will have. So I know people like to ruin stuff for people, but by the time you hear this, I will
It's too
have.
late,
Fans
watched
would
it.
never
suckers.
do that.
And meanwhile, Jim's makes a spoiler thread in the Square Roots Facebook group, which is
Unintentionally.
fine. I wasn't looking at it. Well, you intentionally made the
I
spoiler thread.
intentionally made the spoiler, Fred.
I'll explain myself.
And then Jim saw some exchange that he thought was interesting, so he screen capped it and then posted it into our Hangout, our Google Hangout for all
Wait,
four
I
of
didn't
us, even though two of
Hold
us
on, I didn't
haven't.
start that spoiler thread, but I did
Must
post.
have been
That's
Vanessa.
hardly the least of the crimes
That's
being
true.
discussed at the moment.
I did
Okay.
do the next
Sorry.
bad thing though.
So he screen capped people talking about apparently a major spoiler in Star Wars, and then posted it into our Google Hangouts. And I looked at it and saw it was talking about a character I didn't know, and it was obviously like a Star Warsy name. So I wrote Jim, is this from Star Wars? And he said, yep. And then I said, come on. And he said, I'm in an Uber. Oh no, I said, what are you doing? And then he said, I'm in an Uber. And I said, no, Jim, you're spoiling Star Wars for me and Vanessa.
I did not even I was
And
doing
he-
like a look at this asshole kind of a thing where I screenshotted a shitty comment and I didn't consider the context that the comment was made in, and the context was a huge Star Wars spoiler. And man, I have been swimming in guilt for the past like 2 days.
It makes it so impossible for me to even mock you for it, even though I had the similar experience of not having seen Star Wars, and I clicked the window and be like, "Oh, what's Jim sent us? Probably something good. He usually does." And see if you don't think that this was the coolest moment in Star Wars ever, and I shouldn't say what the comment was, and saw a comment talking about something happening in Star Wars, and I tried to close it. I picked up a few words, but Jim feels so terrible about it. It's not even fun to mock him for it.
The past 2 mornings, I've rolled
fun.
over in bed and just thought to myself, that's who you are now.
You're spoiler guy.
I literally had a dream last night about Jim spoiling Star Wars for me.
But really,
I still want to know what he
But
said
can
to
I-
you
can I
in
do-
his dream that was such a spoiler.
Can I have my real level
Yes.
up now, though? Now that I've berated Jim. My real level up was that I was watching my favorite ASMR channel, and the girl was doing, the video was called ASMR Robot Cleaning Lady. So I was like, okay, is she going to be a robot? That's what I was assuming. She's going to be a robot cleaning you, and then maybe talk like a robot or something. But she, in the story that she's constructed, she finds robots tossed in junk piles and then restores them for a professor to look at. And there's just all these levels of depth to the story. She's like, I'll bring this to the professor later, but right now I'm going to look at you and what's this strange material on you? I have to take it for analysis. And I just wanted to know this deep world she's constructed. I just want to find out so much more. It's fascinating. And that is my my level up. Also, I went bowling with some friends and stuff, but that's not as interesting as
Is
ASMR
this ASMR robot
ladies.
a fictional thing?
Nope.
Yeah, she's a cleaning lady that is it's like a role play.
Is it designed
She's
to be
playing
ASMR?
a lady who cleans robots.
Okay.
Yes. Her name is Latte. And she plays a lady who cleans robots she finds on the street and tries to see if they work. And it's just this fascinating sci-fi story in the middle of this really meek lady's ASMR video that I just found really fun. And I wanted to talk about it with you guys. In return for having Star Wars almost spoiled.
I guess I'll listen to that. Your
Matthew.
boring level up if it makes you feel better.
Actually, Jim, how did you level up?
Well, besides almost spoiling Star Wars for you guys, I had a pretty busy weekend, man. I went to my company Christmas party, and I went to a bachelor party the next night. And I drove across 2 states, and I played some Final Fantasy 15. I've had a big weekend. And I'm also on vacation, which is pretty cool beans.
Vanessa and I were suggesting that you tear up pages from a GED prep guide and put that into the strippers' drawstrings.
You
instead of dollar
were.
bills.
Drawstrings?
Drawstrings.
I don't know. What would you the strings on the bikini that strippers wear in PG movies?
Yep, all those strippers in PG movies.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
I was on Law and
Disney
They
Order.
always have
strippers,
clothes
we
on for
call
some
those.
reason.
Yeah, the Disney strips.
We actually didn't go to the strippers. It was relatively calm, relatively not too scandalous.
Nobody believes you, Jim. We all know what you did.
Matthew, how did you level up?
I saw Star Wars, and now I will recount the plot to you. It starts a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Do it! Then they won't hate me as much.
I liked it a lot. I think it's maybe my new fave. It was very, very good, and I can't wait to take my kids to see it so that I can see it again.
Oh, can I add that
That's-
Amazing.
6 months
I
later.
also
I hated
saw
it.
Star Wars.
What was your favorite
Oh.
part?
Do
Oh,
tell.
really?
I did.
What did you think of the war?
No.
What did you think of Star Wars, Jim?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought that it kind of sagged a little bit in like the middle parts.
It's a bit awkwardly
But,
paced.
Yeah, the parts that were good were really good, and there were a couple moments, which I will not spoil, where I was like, this is one of the coolest things I think I've seen in a theater,
Mhm.
like in a movie. So, yeah, I liked it a lot.
What did you think of the plot? Was it satisfactory?
I thought it was the majority of it was satisfactory. I liked that they basically took, well, I mean, a lot of people said this, they subverted a lot of expectations. So the stuff I thought was going to be a big deal was kind of, they did a lot with those things I thought was really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, Vanessa, how did you Star Wars up?
I saw a movie, and I don't want to get too into spoilers, so I'll just talk about what I liked and didn't like about it. But I watched a movie called A Cinderella Christmas on the Ion channel. Let's see. In the pros, I thought that Emma Rigby gave a pretty strong performance as Angie Wells, the hapless caterer. Peter Port was a believable Nicholas Carmichael, the rich homeowner. And Sarah Stouffer was perhaps a little bit over the top as the wicked cousin. Nevertheless,
I thought you were going.
No,
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I don't know why.
that's weird.
Never.
And don't interrupt me when I'm talking about A Cinderella Christmas. Our listeners want to hear
I'm so
about
sorry.
this. They have been waiting all year. I thought that it hit the right notes with a an initial meetup of two characters who didn't necessarily get along, a mysterious Christmas masquerade in which a love connection is formed, some unexpected circumstances that put our two heroes' future into doubt, and an ultimately satisfying conclusion. A Cinderella Christmas. It's probably going to be on TV again.
Would you call it a new holiday classic?
You know, I thought it was new this year, but looking at IMDb, I see that it was actually made in 2016. However, I have a lot of high hopes for the new Vivica Fox Christmas movie, A Cruise for Christmas. I don't know exactly what it's about, but I know that it has Vivica Fox saying that she wants to be the captain of her own destiny, and a man responding, "I want to be your first mate."
Is that real dialogue from that movie?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's pretty good.
Oh my god.
What about A Christmas Prince starring Liv from iZombie?
I have not watched A Christmas Prince yet, and I was thinking that I should watch it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that it's called A Cruise for Christmas? It's called A Christmas Cruise. I am very sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, I haven't watched A Christmas Prince. I'm sure that I would love it. I wonder if it has any parallels between that film and A Cinderella Christmas, which I did watch in full last night on the Ion television channel.
I assume that it's part of the Christmas cinematic universe.
Yes.
And
the elaborate Christmas cinematic universe that has been in display on the Hallmark Channel since Thanksgiving.
How does Rudolph tie
And,
into this
Right.
movie?
he
into
pulls
which
Santa's
one?
sleigh.
Any of them?
He's tied to Santa's sleigh.
Yeah. He's literally tied to Santa's sleigh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you gonna watch Christmas at Holly Lodge, starring Allison Sweeney from Days of Our Lives?
That sounds great. However, I question whether or not the male protagonist will be rich enough to catch my interest. One thing you know about A Christmas Prince or A Cinderella Christmas is that there's going to be a guy and he's going to be rich.
He's pretty rich. He gets a one-horse open sleigh for Allison Sweeney's character. Spoiler alert.
That's a pretty good gift. I hope he also pays for the upkeep of the horse and sleigh throughout the year, because a horse is not inexpensive to maintain.
I think it was a rental.
I have not watched either A Prince for Christmas, which should not be confused with the Netflix film. In A Prince for Christmas, a European prince flees to the United States because he wants to escape an arranged marriage. And in A Christmas Prince, well, I don't know because I haven't watched it, but I'm sorry, a reporter goes undercover as a tutor to get the inside scoop on a Playboy
Jesus.
prince. So very different films. Please do not confuse them.
I just realized that your love for these films is like my love for like those really terrible sci-fi original movies. It's exactly the same thing. Like if there's a movie where the synopsis is like rear window but with Sasquatch, that's a movie I'm going to sit down and watch.
I mean, I want to watch that just hearing about it.
By the way, that is an actual movie.
Hey, is this episode coming out on Christmas?
Oh, Merry Christmas,
yeah.
everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We probably should have let off with that, but I'm glad we got to it eventually.
After you got the days of Hanukkah wrong.
Yeah, I know, because we recorded the day before Hanukkah would have started, or not the day,
right?
2 days before, and I mistakenly thought that it would be released the next day. I don't know why I thought that. That never happens, and so I misplaced Hanukkah on the calendar.
How dare
it
you.
was very upsetting. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to drown my sorrows by watching Christmas Cookies, Marry Me at Christmas, Every Christmas Has a Story, A Wish for Christmas, Finding Santa, My Christmas Dream, A December Bride, Let It Snow, A Wish for Christmas, Engaging Father Christmas, Christmas Homestead, Enchanted Christmas, A Perfect Christmas, or any other of the Hallmark films playing this month.
You could
That's
have
a lot
made
of
up those
Christmas
movie
movies.
titles.
That's funny.
If you didn't make up, like, if those aren't real movies, somebody's going to hear that, spend 15 minutes writing a script, and it's going to be a movie next year.
There's also A Cookie Cutter Christmas and With Love, Christmas.
Now, I'd like to say that one person here has worked on Hallmark Christmas movies, and it wasn't Vanessa.
And if you're a cat lover, you might want to check out The 9 Lives Christmas.
Ooh, I do like cats.
You can buy that bundled with A Royal Christmas, not to be confused with A Princess Christmas, A Prince for Christmas, or A Christmas Prince.
Did they recast Kevin Spacey for that one?
I don't believe Kevin Spacey was attached to The 9 Lives of Christmas. I think that was perhaps an unofficial sequel.
They recast him with Christopher Plummer.
Did Matthew?
And
Has Matthew leveled up yet?
I know I mentioned Vivica A. Fox before.
So what do
my
we
excitement
do
for her
after
new
our
film,
level up
A
segment?
Christmas Cruise, but don't miss out on her classic,
Well-
A Husband for Christmas.
I believe we move into the
Christmas
quest
log.
log. The Christmas log, burning brightly. We'll do our RPG.
Let's see.
Knucklebee, Knucklebee, how much I love you. Dashing through the snow with the bard and Knuckleboo. Knucklebee, Knucklebee, you're my
Knucklebee,
favorite
yeah.
The
horse.
Knucklebee's dead.
Who will play?
We killed that
Hold
thing.
my sleigh, the Knucklebee, of
I thought the
course.
Knucklebee would come back, and it did not.
Didn't. No.
No.
But we did get the haggis
Through the
monster,
snow
which
with
is
Spearhead Knucklebee.
something.
Oh yes, let's get
Yeah,
into
let's talk
it.
about Stromness.
Stromness.
It's a city that has been overrun by Draugr.
Yeah, those things.
Draugr.
The what? What? Are those the those are the
Zombie
zombie
Vikings.
Vikings, right? Right.
It's hard. Like, where do you start in Stromness with what's going on here? Like, basically everybody in the town is dead or they've escaped via the docks. But there are two people left in town. Well, there's two people and a couple trow, I think.
Cool trow.
A couple what?
Kunal trow.
Oh yeah. What? Huh?
There's a guy named
couple
Hatcher
trow?
who keeps mistaking you for different people.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
depressing.
Billy Hatcher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually
didn't-
is named William Hatcher, but it's not a Billy Hatcher reference, so I don't even know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I didn't find this
But
funny
his family's
at all.
all dead.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
You actually because you met his son. He was talking about how his son was going to be the chosen one, and you saw his son get killed by the Shadow Axe guy.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, just to reiterate, this was
I think that
a
was
real
the-
bummer. Great job, game.
Yeah. Man, that is really sad. I didn't put
So-
that together.
So the objective here is to keep this dude alive so he can take you to the store. And that was easy. Like I got to the store and the store was helmed by this Viking dude who's very nice and very chatty.
Yeah, he was a nice dude.
Very chat. Yeah. But then so the old man wants to take you to the farm, but he basically got right next to where the farm's entrance is and then just stood there until he died.
Weird.
For me, I don't know if that happened with you
Huh.
guys.
Is that not what's supposed to happen?
I don't know. That's just what happened with me. Is he wouldn't
I'm
keep
pretty
moving. He just stood there, and then like the screen got flooded with zombies.
I'm pretty sure he's
And he
supposed to die. He's supposed to die.
Yeah, he died with me
Okay.
as well. But not for a while.
Yeah, I don't think he died for me until I got to the haggis monster.
I didn't get to a haggis monster.
You must have seen the haggis monster.
I don't think
What
I
was the
did.
haggis
There's
monster?
no way you missed it.
So when you
What?
get to
I
this
did
guy's
not-
farm, so he's a butcher, and you
Yeah.
go to like this big hole in the ground where he leaves all of his unused animal parts, and a big giant mass of dead animal parts comes out, and you have to fight it.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, that didn't
Eh.
happen.
Didn't
That
happen
didn't
to you
happen
guys,
for me.
huh?
Wow.
I didn't know this was optional.
I wonder what the difference is. Maybe it's because the guy died before I got to the farm for me?
I guess so. Yeah, because he died and just got killed.
That's weird,
When I-
man. You guys
before I
didn't.
got
You
to
guys
the
missed
farm.
that whole boss.
That was a great
Was
boss,
it-
too.
Was it a cool? What happened?
It
Tell
like
me about this
shoots
boss.
out
Crawls out of the pit.
animal
I saw the pit.
like viscera at you.
Hmm It, like, comes
I-
up out of the ground, and it's this big blob, and then you fight it for a while, and then to heal itself, it will, like, call animals to it. So, like, sheep and cows and chickens will try to run into it.
Oh,
Uh,
I do
I
remember
did
this.
have to
More
fight a
health.
lot of. I fought a lot of the sheep and cows and chickens, but there was no boss.
There was no big fleshy blob that came out of the
I
ground.
do remember something.
There's that
eating
big
the
hole.
chickens and cows and stuff. This is weird.
Yes, it came out of that big hole,
Hmm.
John.
Well, it for me. I just walked by the hole and I was like, "Well, that's weird. I wonder why that's there." And then I just moved on.
Maybe you have to go over to the hole and click on it or something like that.
I walked around it quite a bit. I was like, "Is there anything here?" And no. I think the game just glitched
Yep,
on me.
sounds like another classic.
The
glitch.
Bard's Tale classic RPG.
Mhm.
Why did you pick this, Vanessa?
Matt.
Don't mat me.
I mean, if you're gonna tell a lie,
Uh-uh.
at least make it a believable
Hang on
one.
now. I got receipts. We have saved conversations, buddy.
Everyone knows that the game I wanted to play was My Horse Prince, but everyone vetoed me.
Not everyone.
Well, because
I'd
it's
play
like
that
2
game.
years old
It's an instant
and not an
classic.
RPG.
I don't know.
Next on
My
Instant
Christmas
Classic.
Horse sounds like an RPG.
My Christmas Horse sounds like a Hallmark original movie too.
A horse for
Yep.
Christmas.
My Christmas Horse Prince. Disney getting risque.
Prince, the Christmas horse.
A horse prince for
Chris
Christmas.
Horserson. Famed actor.
So after I guess the boss I didn't fight, I just walked across to this like entrance, and of course as soon as I hit the water, everything went down to that like quarter speed thing. But at the end I figured out how to avoid quarter speed gameplay. If you zoom in the camera so that the bard is like taking up most of the screen, or like he's real big, it won't slow down. So that is how to not spend forever.
That's
here.
good. I still didn't have any like major slowdown in any of these areas on my Vita. Yeah.
Weird.
I guess the Vita's just got more processing power than your PS4.
Yeah, I never had any.
I
must
guess
be.
so.
I never had any issues with slowdown with the water. I had issues when I got swamped with enemies.
And water? Swamped? Huh?
Uh,
Huh?
but Vanessa's a busy girl, so let's not worry about her. Jim, what happened next?
Vanessa is I don't know if you guys have seen, but she is sending us
IMing
all
us.
movie posters
Oh,
of Christmas movies. Thank you, Vanessa.
Horse-related Christmas movies.
Let's just let her do that while we talk about the
Jim.
game.
Inspired by a true story. Those are the best.
Christmas for $1. This is good podcasting, guys.
Yep. Can we just talk about stuff that we're looking at? What do we do now? We have to go to the Furlbolg mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Florburg.
we should say so. At this point in the game, we are ready to conquer the third and final tower, which will allow us to free Princess Kali.
The
So-
Island Tower.
Yeah, so we have to
Finally.
go through the mines, and then in order to get to the island tower, which is the third one, we have to get there via like an underground river seaway thing, right? I lost track of the geography here.
Yeah, you're taking like a tunnel to get to the island path instead of crossing over water
Okay.
to get to the island tower.
Yeah, you're cutting through the
And,
mines.
Yes.
The mines in the mountain.
yeah.
It's a very Lord of the Rings situation.
Uh-huh.
Through the mighty mountain, past the Google Trough.
Let's see. Yeah, so the Furlbolg mines. I
What's a
didn't
Furlberg?
the Furl am I saying that right?
Furlblog.
Furlbolg?
Literally nobody on
It's
Earth knows.
Sure.
Flogabog. No, it's Flogabog.
Yeah, Flurbig. Those
It's those Goron guys from
yeah,
Zelda
they're the
again.
big guys. We saw one of these guys in the what was that other place that we did? The tombs. The frozen
that was
tombs.
the tomb, yeah.
This is the guy that we helped who got stuck. A bunch of these Furlbolgs are also stuck in a cave-in in these mines. So it's our job to like find more Furlbolgs to clear the cave-in.
Yeah, this is like
And I
a
guess
hunt. You have to gather them all up, right?
yeah.
Because I went the wrong
Yeah,
way,
Flog
and I
Dog
went and
Hunt.
talked to all of them first, and then I got the thing. So I was like, well, this is easy. I already know where they are.
Yeah.
That happened.
I
to
think I
me,
finished
too.
it with 2 minutes left.
Oh yeah,
I
we
think.
should say like
That wasn't too
so
bad.
the more Furlbolgs you add to the cave cleanup crew, the faster the rate of clearing it goes. But you also have a time limit as they only have a limited amount of air. I think you get 10 minutes.
Yeah, you get more
To
than
do
enough time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it pretty slowly, and I had no problem because I was dealing with the sluggish
Oh, that's
processor
right.
speed at this point because I hadn't figured out my trick. Yeah, the guy that I rescued before, the one that I escorted through the tomb, he actually was stuck in there with the rest of them, and gave me some trinket, and I got a lot of experience for rescuing him.
That's cool. I don't think I did that.
Hmm.
All right, what's next?
Next, you go to more mines and you find some upset Vikings.
Is this where we meet Olav? All right, so yeah, we got to do more mines, and we should say there's a lot of Finn folk that are beginning to show up here.
Yeah, they're
They
little
are
mermaids.
still
Yes.
annoying.
They're the like Cthulhu water guys.
So previously, when we had a raft sequence of going between different areas by long raft parts, Vanessa stated she did not enjoy the raft. Did it improve with this go round, Vanessa?
No, it was much worse
Why is that?
because it lasted forever. And the frame rate was still super slow. I did not have your zoom in trick at the time. I don't know if that works for you or not. But
It did.
probably took about an hour for this stupid raft to go through its little raft place where the mermaids were attacking you and everything. Real bad.
Oof.
Not good. Bad port. Terrible QC. Very bad. Give me a refund. Bad.
Mine didn't slow down, but it
No,
still
they-
felt like
the-
it took like 2 years to get through.
Mhm.
Did everyone save the Furlborgs?
Yeah.
I guess everyone did, right?
Oh, you don't
So
have to?
It's
I think you
real
can let
easy.
them die.
I didn't know it was optional.
I didn't either.
Yeah, they give you 10
When you-
minutes and it takes maybe 6 minutes.
Yeah. In the next area, there is a Viking standing there on his own. And he tells you a story that you can opt to interrupt nicely or rudely, or you can just let him tell a story. And I think it takes about 8
Yeah,
minutes
he's a
of how he and his brother got separated and an evil Filborg killed his brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
he's a real chatty Cathy.
That is
Yeah, it's
Olav.
obnoxious.
Yep.
And not good.
I
Or
did
funny.
not
I kind
interrupt
of liked
him.
it. I thought it was funny. I actually liked that. It was like talking on the phone with your mom.
Mhm.
And of course, if my mom is listening, I don't mean you. I mean her.
He means generic mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you listen to his whole story, you get some kind of a stone, you get some kind of a trinket.
Yeah.
You
I
get
did.
something.
Mm-hmm. I got something. I don't remember what
I
it
was,
was.
I'm really bored. I was really
Some
bored
kind of
by this
trinket.
game.
Yeah, it was
By the
another
time
one of
we
those
got here.
relics that you get that give you a stat boost or whatever. You get a bunch of them. They're all over the place.
Oh, I thought he didn't give you the upgraded
That's what it
lightning
was.
man.
It was a lightning
something?
thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
a
it was-
lightning stone.
Yeah, it was upgraded lightning dude. I also got I got the bodyguard as well.
Yes,
which is
yeah,
really
that
cool.
guy's awesome.
Yeah.
And, like
Well, you
especially
have
in the
to.
next areas.
You have to pick
Yeah.
him up to get through
Because I didn't
the-
get him in Kirkwall.
Yeah, you have to pick up the enhanced bodyguard to get through the magical barrier.
He quickly became one of my favorite summons because he's just so nice. He's like the most pleasant summon. Just really wants
I
to
opted
protect
for
you.
as much damage as possible. Whoever had the best stats.
Yeah, what was by this point now you can easily have 4 summons. So I usually had the knight, the bodyguard, the crone, and the enchantress. Although I switch out the bodyguard for the rogue sometimes.
I used the mercenary almost the entire time because even though he was not quite as strong as the others, he was really good at getting in between things. And I used the
Right.
fire throwing elemental and the whatever the one that what's the one that slows people down? The enchantress.
Yeah.
And
Right.
something else. Boy, I know that's real good, but the stone throwing.
The crone?
No, I didn't use the crone. The stone throwing guy. He did a lot of damage.
What about the gouger?
No, I didn't really use the gouger much.
The gouger's like this giant mosquito-y bug thing that will heal your party as it damages enemies. But
I
It's
didn't
not as
find
good
him
as the
as good
crone.
as Crone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used Crone, I used Knight, and then I used Rogue a
Once
lot
I-
because she real good at stab.
Once I got the enchantress, I didn't use the crone anymore.
I would because she healed me, which was
Yeah.
very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Although I ended the game with like 80-something of those shards that you can use to heal yourself, so I probably didn't need to rely on her so much.
But
I
the
did-
summon animation was really annoying. So
Yep.
I did Crone and Knight, and I like the Explorer guy who sets off all the traps and stuff like that. I used him and Enchantress.
What about you, Vanessa? Oh, you told me it was Rogue.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
cheating. I cheated this whole game, so I was one hitting all the enemies, and the traps were the only things that were causing me damage. So I like to have the Explorer guy around, so I didn't have to heal.
All right. So we get through this
Yes.
watery dungeon and then emerge to the tower where the druids are fighting with redcaps.
Again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
Yeah,
As
on the
always.
grass
Yeah, this
around
why
the tower.
I mean, why put in this little area before you why not just go to the tower?
Why play this game?
But this tower, man, what a slog this tower was.
I didn't think it was as bad as the last one. I thought the mountain tower was the worst
How was
tower.
the mountain tower worse than this one?
It just felt longer.
This one had
This
like
one-
10 levels to it. Oh no, I'm thinking of Dunby Tower.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dunby's the worst by far.
Yeah.
But between No, this one was it was 3 levels, but you
Yeah.
didn't I went around and got all the chests and everything, so it took me a little while. But it was okay. It's just there's a lot of traps. Way too many traps.
Yeah, this tower belongs to Mananan? Mananan?
Do-do-do-do.
Mana.
Do-do-do-do.
And is he like a tornado guy?
Right, who a tornado guy?
Manamanan.
Yeah, this guy kind of kicked the shit out of me a couple of times. It's tough.
Do-do-do-do.
Mana.
Do-do-do-do.
Mana.
Do-do-do-do.
Let me tell you my experience with Manamanan.
Okay.
All right, Vanessa, tell me your experience
Yes.
with Man on Man.
Right. So, in my experience with Man on Man, it started out pretty tough. My party
Was it hard?
really getting wailed
Was it
on.
really hard?
It was hard. It was really hard. And then everything went spinny and chaotic, and it was totally out of
Mhm.
control. I had to try to just run as fast as I could and keep myself in good health to avoid the
Right.
chaos. And then, as soon as that initial whirlwind was over, he suddenly died.
Oh.
What?
He was at maybe 80% in his health bar. And he did his whirlwind attack once, and then he
That's
died.
fantastic. What
Yeah.
I found was when he was in his invincible spinny chaos man on man action, I would just walk around the perimeter, and as long as I kept moving, none of his attacks really hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's
this
what
was
I had to do as well.
it felt like a real boss fight. I think it was the first real boss fight of the game.
It started feeling like that to me, and then he died at 80%
I
health.
desperately
So,
wish
there
that
you
would have
go.
happened for me. I did not like this boss fight.
Well, I was able to kill him in one hit because I used a cheat code. So now we learn that that by just defeating the guy and are you putting out flames at these towers? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've extinguished the third flame and you kind of expect the quest to be over, but she says, "Oh, now you actually have to come to Dunby Tower and free
Well, they
me."
said that from the start. Like she prepped you for that. She had to get the 3 towers so you could unlock your path to the 4th one.
But doesn't he expect her to just be ready now?
He's always expecting her to be ready.
I guess that's true.
He wasn't listening, I guess, during because when you
Yeah.
had
Who
that summon with the
listens when women
bows.
talk?
Not
Yikes.
you guys, I can tell you that
Did
much.
somebody say
Aw.
something? Is
What?
there a ghost?
Aw,
Is there like
I
interference on my track?
I listen to Vanessa. She's
Who?
great
Yes, John, you do.
most of the time.
That's not true at all. Bum-ba-na-na-na. Man, man.
Mana.
Man on,
So how do we
man.
get to
Bum-ba-da-bum.
Dunby Tower?
Man on, man.
You get
Go
there
back to
by
you go back to
Practice! Practice!
I thought it was a flaming
Practice.
stingray.
It was a flaming
Yep.
stingray.
Oh, right.
What the
you
fuck's
fly
going on?
a
It was.
flaming. It's the first tower you haven't had to go back down.
Yeah, that's pretty cool beans.
Yay. Oh, Stingray, you broke me heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could have made you go back down the tower and back through the entire fucking thing, and it would not have shocked me if they had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if they had done
Clearly,
that in
even the
Dunby
developers
Tower?
were ready for this fucking game to be over.
If they had done that in Dunby Tower, I probably wouldn't have finished this game.
Yeah, Dunby Tower's not even an actual level.
No. It's Vanessa's favorite thing, an elevator ride.
Yeah. A elevator ride through your memories. I do think it's worth pointing out that the bard does not like the stingray and does not want to go on the stingray because he is a
What does he
coward.
say?
Idiot.
Because when it got to the point where she was summoning the stingray, the game locked. Well, for every cutscene, basically. Just assume I didn't get to see the whole cutscene because it froze and I had to skip through it. So what happened when he met the stingray?
I don't remember exactly. He's just like, I don't want to go on the stingray. I'll walk, thanks. I'm not a flyer. I'm just a stupid
Oi,
bard.
oi.
I won't go on the stingray.
And she's like, but dear, you must get to my breasts via the stingray. And he's like,
Oh, well, if you put it that way, I'll close my eyes and think about your big knockers and I'll get on the stingray.
wow, we're better writers than this game.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the UK. That's the bard, right?
Yes.
No. Maybe.
Bum-ba-na-na-na. Men on men. Bum-ba-na-bum. Men on men.
That's what I say during my intimate encounters.
Oh. I like the idea of John setting the scene in his bedroom and he's got candles and then he's like, get ready, and he hits the play button on his boombox and it's da 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 da.
John, you sick fuck.
Oh, they're into it. They
Oh,
love
boy.
it.
Yikes.
No, so let's talk about Dunby Tower.
Practice.
Love
Right,
on an
guys?
elevator. Living it up while you're going also up.
All right, so Dunby
In
Tower.
Dunby Tower, we're...
What's the before you
Jinx.
get into the tower? There's like a whole opening, right, where you have to fight a bunch of
Yeah.
dudes.
Right.
But remember, this is the opening of the game. It's just like Final Fantasy X
Ooh.
when we're given a teaser
Yeah.
at the beginning of Final Fantasy X, and this is the moment when we finally catch up with the
I
narrative.
don't
And
remember that.
It is? I don't
Yeah.
remember that either.
No, I remember that because it's like these people don't even like me. They're not even human, but here they are. And then you fight some guy that I guess was in the game before, but I forgot who he is.
Some guy that's
Yeah.
probably been hanging around.
He was in some of the cutscenes with what's the name of the bad guy again? Placenta.
Finnick.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that beginning part at all. Weird.
All right.
It's like an
Wow.
in
What's
media
next?
res. And then a flashback. It's like an episode of Alias where it starts near the end, then flashes back to how they got there.
Oh, like an episode of Breaking Bad. And the
Yeah.
whole reason why I couldn't watch that show.
Oh.
Terrible plot structuring.
Mm.
You shut up.
Hey, it's really interesting sometimes. It's not interesting every time.
Well, you kill this. So this druid guy keeps summoning more druids to fight, but he was a pushover. He was just like a
Yeah,
Blam, blam,
he's just a
blam.
minion.
yeah. So it was not a hard fight,
Blamity
Blam, blam, thank you, ma'am.
sir.
Blam, blam, thank you, monsieur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Nailed it.
So what's Dunby Tower like? There's a lot of how many levels are there? Like 10?
12.
12.
Yeah.
There's
And
12 elevators, and it starts with Kunal Trow, and then every floor is a different enemy you fought, and they get harder as you go up, because the Kunal Trow... It's a kind of fun seeing how easy enemies at the beginning of the game are, and you just, like, slice through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was just a little walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
If this was a game I wanted to remember, I probably would have
Mhm.
enjoyed
It's
it.
a weird
It definitely
final
wasn't-
dungeon.
It was like a stop trying. This felt like they stopped trying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. They gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely
Yeah.
true.
This
Yeah.
is a bad game, and we don't like making it. The last level's just going to be one, image, one room over and over again.
Yeah, there was
The
no
end.
differentiation between the rooms.
Some
But
of
you
them
do
had
get
treasure
locked in.
chests,
But because
and the treasure chests were always
it's a bard's tale. Mhm.
the treasure chests were always one gym thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a bard's tale, they had to animate every time the bard and all of his active summons stepping off the elevator in a really slow
Did you say
manner,
stummins?
lining themselves up. His
Stummins.
summons.
Yeah.
I said summons.
Are those stomach summons? Or are those just farts?
Yes.
Oh,
Summons.
I got some stummins after those gas station hot dogs.
Now you didn't have a skip button, Vanessa? Because I was able to skip this.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
skip
yeah. Actually, that
Perhaps
does
I
work.
should have been hitting buttons.
When you
And,
first get into the elevator area, the boss comes down and says, "Listen, turn around now, or we must fight, and I will destroy you." And then the bard's like, "Actually, you've locked the gate behind me with magic, so I can't leave. So we have to fight." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll see you upstairs."
Yeah, this is all pretty abrupt. All right, so you get through the tower. It's 12 levels. You fight things on each level. There's a save point, and now it is the literal end of the game. Somebody set the
Yay!
stage. What happens?
Well,
Ooh, actually, I think.
you get to pick.
Well, let Vanessa maybe set this up.
Okay,
'cause
yeah.
She was so. We were all disappointed by it, but I think Vanessa was
Okay.
the most.
She also ran the full gamut of all the different options. So
So did I.
I tried every
Me
ending.
too.
I did
Uh,
not.
mm-mm.
You get up to the top, and there be your love Calais, as well as what's his name, the
Finnick.
big bad guy, Finnick. And Finnick says, "Hey, guess what? Calais is straight from the pits of hell. She's no good, very bad. The reason all the dead have been rising is because her magic is getting stronger. But you are a very strong bard. Why don't you defeat Calais for me?" And then you have a choice to make.
Mhm.
And before you make it, you can talk with your companions and see what they think. I asked my companions whether they thought I should fight Fennec or Calais, and all of them were pro Calais. I think the Enchantress, the Knight, and someone else who I cannot recall. Oh, the Rogue was pro Calais, because the Rogue was like, "Well, Fennec's the only one I know of who's tried to kill you." And the Knight was like, "We must save your fair maid." And the Enchantress was like, "What a sad story. I feel very sad." And then the Crone said, "I know something about appearances being deceiving, and I think that she is from hell."
She's the only one who was right
Um,
of the companions I had too.
Yep, that's right. However, I initially chose to kill Fennec and free Calais because I was hoping that Calais would kill the bard. But that didn't happen. You kill Fennec, then Calais says to you, "Now I'll show you my true form." And the bard says, "Oh, I thought that didn't happen until 10 years after
Ugh.
marriage." Which is funny because ladies be aging.
I know.
What?
He also makes a
Why
joke
would
about.
they do that?
He also makes a joke about how all of the women that he knows eventually become women from hell or something like that. So he's glad that this
Yeah.
relationship is beginning that way. It's refreshing or something like that.
Yeah.
Come
This
on.
is
Right.
the ending This is the ending I chose.
Yeah.
Better
And you
to
have to-
reign in hell
So,
than serve in heaven.
There was a part of this that made me laugh though, because it shows her carrying him like a
Yeah.
bride. Like
Yeah.
that did
Yeah.
make me laugh.
You also have
I
to
like
fight
the fact that
Fennec.
everybody.
And her true form is very tall, and she has like pan
Yeah.
legs and
And
hooves
wings.
and
Yeah.
everything.
I really like the fact that like everybody warns you, like you just let her out, she's gonna fucking murder you and everybody else. But instead, she's like, "All right, I like you."
Yeah,
It's
she
fun.
takes you,
I thought it was fun. I mean, it's
As her
terrible,
mate.
but it's fun.
and you fight
Yeah,
Finnick.
and she does kill everyone except for the bard.
And some tavern keepers. Oh no, wait, that was the other ending.
tavern
Sorry, no, that was the other ending.
Yeah. Nope, she kills everyone, and the narrator's like, "Well, the bard got what he wanted at the expense of everyone else."
And you do kill Finnick, and that was a fairly
Yes.
easy boss fight, and not
Yeah.
super interesting.
Did you guys already talk about the good ending? The
No,
kill?
we
No.
should talk about that one next.
All right, let's do that.
I can describe this one, I guess, right?
Well, wait.
Yeah.
Did you do the neutral ending?
No, we'll do that after, because that's my favorite one. I think that's the
Oh,
best
so you
ending.
started with this one.
Me
Okay.
too.
So the good ending is where you decide to kill Kaylee because you believe her because he says, "I thought about what you said, And I just remember one thing. Never trust a woman.
Ah.
Like, I just shuddered at that line. So then she gets mad, turns into a demon, and then she like says, well, he's like, you're still kind of hot, which I did laugh at. And she turned into a demon. But she's like, oh, just give me one kiss. Just one kiss. And you do that because you're an idiot, even though Fennec's like, dude, what are you doing? Don't do that. And you give her one kiss, and she transports you to this like love realm where you're standing on this sort of writhing biomass, and there's hearts, like figurative hearts, like the emoji hearts flying all around you.
It was.
I like that, actually. I thought this reminded me of something out of Secret of Mana, except with hearts. I thought it was a fun boss fight. The better of the options.
Secret of Mana, except with farts. What?
Hearts. And yeah, so you fight her, you kill her, she's real mad. Finnick's like, well, you almost destroyed the world, but you did the right thing at the last second, so I guess that's okay. And he lets you go, and you start all over being a bard again, going to another town and another bar, and you unleash your rat, and you hear a woman screaming. And that's the end of the good ending.
Good.
That is a pretty good ending.
No, I think the last ending's the good ending.
All right. No, I didn't. This
The
is the one I
last
didn't
ending is the
see.
best
So tell me
ending.
about this.
In this ending, the bard does a little feat of logic and decides that if he fights for either one of them, no matter which he chooses, he will either end up dead or in a relationship, and neither is appealing to him because women feed naggy bitches.
Oh.
It's fun.
I hear that.
Anyway, then he
Right, Jim?
he decides that he's
Right, guys?
No.
Women be shopping.
yeah, for like clothing for their family and things. It's ridiculous. Women.
Well, it's Christmas. A lot of people are
Groceries.
shopping.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's true.
Vanessa, women don't have a monopoly on shopping.
What? You're the one who said that women be shopping.
Do go on.
Anyway,
Did you guys
the
know
bard
that men
decides
are
to just
abused
leave.
more often in cases?
Did you know that men speak over women a lot?
No, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So you were saying, Vanessa.
Thanks, but I don't need a man to rescue me.
Oh,
no. I'm white knighting.
Man on man. Man.
So the bard decides that he's just going to leave, which I thought was pretty great, actually. I think more role-playing games should have that option of just being like, no, thank you. I've journeyed here to save the world, and now I'm kind of over it. And he goes and hangs out in some taverns with some undead, and they have one more dance-off.
Yay! I like the little dance off.
Yay!
It was
That's
pretty
a weird
cute.
ending.
Yeah,
That
there's
is a
I'm
weird
skeleton.
surprised there's not a fourth ending where you can kill them both. 'Cause
Nope.
that would have been my choice.
That would have been
Yeah.
pretty good.
But no, he just realizes he has to deal with the fact there's a lot more undead and get used to it, and he's just drinking with them. I liked it. I thought it was a funny ending.
I do kind of like the fact that even in the good and neutral endings, he still doesn't get laid.
Yeah, that's true.
So he only gets laid in the bad ending. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's it. We finished
did
the
it.
Bard's Tale.
I'm
Yay.
fucking shocked.
Yeah, man, we got
I
through
actually
it.
finished it.
We did it in 4.
Yeah, I finished it like 2 weeks ago because I just got a wild hair at my ass. I was like, I must get through this. I
Ew.
cannot take it anymore.
Ugh.
Can
You've
we?
never heard that expression, Sean?
No.
Okay, sorry.
So,
You have to get a wild
let's,
hair up your ass about it.
let's take this opportunity to announce our next
Man,
game.
man. Oh, I was gonna do that as my level up. I mean, as my
As your level up,
squarely my squarely against.
our
Well,
next
too
game.
bad.
You were gonna
I don't
Yeah,
have
squarely
too
anything
against
bad.
our
to talk
next game.
about with this fucking game. I could be roundly for something.
Oh, well, our next
No, go
game
ahead.
is Mass Effect.
Woo!
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Has
Yay.
everybody created their character?
That's a great choice.
I have.
I haven't yet.
What's your character name?
Bim Janks.
Nice. What about you,
Evil.
Vanessa?
Jim Banks with a scar across
I
his
have
eye.
not created it yet.
My character is named Evil in all caps. Evil Shepherd. And I decided to just do all sliders one way or the other, so she's very interesting looking. She kind of came out looking like a Red Skull.
Nice.
I will say to our listeners, if you have or if you haven't played Mass Effect before and want to play along with us, please consider playing as the female Shepard, because the voice acting of Jennifer Hale is fantastic in that role. Really, really good. Don't miss it. If you've tried male Shep before, try female Shep. And if you've tried female Shep before, stick with female Shep.
But I wanted to
Vanessa,
play as Evil Jim Banks, so I had to play as male Shep. And I noticed he says a boat a lot because he's very Canadian.
Oh, that's funny. Vanessa, I recognize the name Jennifer Hale. What else is she from?
Kaylee. She's
She did
Kaylee.
Bastila, dude.
Yeah.
She was Bastila in KOTOR.
And she was Kaylee. That's right.
Oh, is it Haley? Was I saying it wrong?
No, it's Hale, I
Calais?
think.
She's
It's
Calais,
Hale.
right?
Yeah.
Jennifer Hale is Calais.
Oh,
Kaylee.
really?
Calais.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this game. Bart's
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
I think we discussed that early on, actually, and that's why the name
Well, I
rung the
forgot.
bell.
She is a Canadian-American voice actress, but she does not say a boot as Shepard, so near as I can.
I always
just hear-
thought that Shepard's voice acting was always kind of boring.
Well, he's kind of got a
That's
voice
because
like
you were
that.
playing male
I was
Shep.
playing male Shep. I'm gonna go.
I'm
I'm gonna
glad.
go. I'm gonna go fem Shep this time.
You should.
I
We
finished-
gotta have an exact
Nice.
balance.
I finished the
Play how
whole
you wanna
series as
play.
Fem Shep, and now I'm looking forward to playing as Evil Jim Banks, and I made an exact replica of Jim Banks.
It looks just like me.
He looks just
It
like
does.
Exact.
agree.
Exact.
You nailed it.
Perfection.
You nailed it.
Yep.
I actually was, when you sent me the screenshot, I was like, what is Jim Banks doing in space?
They
Why is he
mocap
talking
me
to
for
that smoking man? Oh, wait, no, that's Mass Effect 2.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm already through like the prologue and the first level in Mass Effect. Like, I'm zipping through this thing. I'm
Oh,
going to finish
man.
it
I
before
haven't
we
even
start our
started it
first
yet.
recording.
I haven't
boy.
decided on my alignment yet. If I'm gonna try to go bad, or if I'm just gonna be good.
Well, we know you're going to spoil whatever way you do it.
Guys, should I try to play against type and do like a good Evil Shepherd?
Sure.
Nah,
Ooh.
fuck
I
that. That
don't
sounds
think you
terrible.
could succeed.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I had too much
I
fun
think
last
that
time.
Jim maybe should play somewhere in between good and bad, and just do what he thinks is appropriate for each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll just that's a good idea. You know what? If I'm feeling like bad things good, I'll do that. If I'm thinking good things good, I'll do that.
You know, Jim, you're a real Midwestern people pleaser, so I don't know that you playing this game, like just doing what you want, is going to result in anything but the good.
Listen,
Shep. Like, you're going to be
if
Paragon.
if I meet a new alien companion and I feel a limp handshake, that motherfucker's getting screwed over.
Also,
Mhm.
if they have some sort of Hillary bumper sticker, right, Jim?
Oh.
Oh no,
Guys, sidebar, I spotted a Jill Stein 2016 bumper sticker on a car today, and I wanted to ram him.
Well, just so you know, Bim Janks, the evil Jim Banks, is going to be racist against all aliens and try to have sex with everybody in the game.
true to life.
Oh, even the aliens?
Yes.
Like, I'm already playing that character, John. It sucks that the only, like, if you want to be bad, you're racist. That's all it is. It's not
Yeah.
all it is. But that's
Space
like, right now,
racist.
it's like, if you want to be bad person, you have to be racist against everybody. Which is
I
a
just
bummer.
punched
Can
a
I not
man
just
with
be snide?
mental trauma for no reason in this game, so.
Jesus.
Shepard's not anti-alien. He's just pro-human.
Oh, right.
What's wrong with being supportive of your own
Humanity
Yeah, I
first,
just wanna
guys.
build a
Humanity
wall
first.
around-
have human pride?
I just want to build a wall around space. What's the problem?
Human pride. Am I right?
Ugh. Gross.
Everything is awful.
Everything is
Well-
awful. Except for Mass Effect.
2018 is just around the corner, and I'm sure it will bring nothing but good and wonderful
Yes.
things because everything just gets better all the time, except for 2017. That was a little blip on the arc of human
Yeah.
More like
progress.
Do
20
over.
busted teen, right? Busted
Nice.
as fuck.
Nice.
Worst year.
2016.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't like. Nope. Let's not say that. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'll allow it.
Congratulations to Doug Jones.
Oh,
What?
boy.
I don't get it, but that just
Good
seems
old
uncomfortable.
Doug. You know what? I don't want. Let's stop now.
Yep.
And forever hold
Yep.
our peace.
Yeah.
Vanessa, what were you squarely against?
Oh, I was going to try to be positive.
Yeah.
wasn't I?
Can I tell you what to do? I feel
No.
like this game shat on you in particular, and if you want to like really get it out, like we'll really like listen.
I don't need you to give me
know.
permission to get anything out.
This
Matt.
one
Permission,
time
it was
we're
a
going to listen to
suggestion.
you. This one time. we'll listen.
Wow, that's so generous. I really feel like I've been handed the talking stick, and I know it will make you guys feel good to pat yourselves on the back at the end of the day for treating me like a human. So we all win. I am roundly for the summoning system
Huh.
and building your party with different summoned companions. I thought they were all pretty interesting in what they did, and I had fun playing with the balance of your team. So that mechanic I felt was successful in an otherwise steaming pile of donkey
Do you
shit.
think it started off successfully, or do you think it just finished successfully?
I think it finished successfully because in the beginning, when it was just 1 or 2, there really wasn't anything interesting to be doing with it.
I think once you hit 4 and got the Enchantress is when it really finally took off as like a fun strategy thing.
Mhm. And I think that someone could take that idea. Other games I think have tried, like Chrono Cross has a huge stable of characters to choose from. And I kind of like that idea of having, 20 or 30 companions and figuring out the team that works for your play style.
Yeah, anything that gives you more strategy
Uh,
particularly with like turn-based fighting is, I think, pretty great. I mean, that's why we like Final Fantasy X so much, right?
That's right. Anyway, John. What are you roundly for?
All right. So, once again, to be positive, I will say I am roundly for the songs in this game. I came
That's
around
fun.
on them.
What?
I
Are
No.
you
I
kidding?
think I predicted this.
I think it's a Stockholm Syndrome thing, but I also like the music in this game was made by Tommy Tallarico, who did tons of 90s video game music, and I really liked his use of authentic older instruments. Like you could hear woodblock and you could hear like bar room style singing where he really mic'd the room versus just the singers.
Yeah.
I love the different instruments playing the summon tunes, each one differently. Like, yeah, you get the singing sword, and the singing sword goes la 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 la, and it's pretty fun. And
Yeah,
the
that was really fun.
Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of neat little choices the game makes as far as sound design goes that I really liked. And yeah, the music grew on me. By the end, I liked those terrible Chosen One songs. So
Were you singing along with the bouncing ball?
I was.
Yeah.
So I'm roundly for
I
the
like
music.
to think that my beautiful rendition of Knucklebee had something to do with
Maybe.
it.
Probably.
Didn't
I was
hurt.
just skipping the songs by the end. Knucklebee, oh, Knucklebee.
Jim,
Mhm.
what are you squarely against or roundly for?
I'm now that I've heard about them and you guys have kind of laid them out, I will say that I am roundly for both the neutral and good endings. It sounds like I like the fact that the bard really didn't get anything that he wanted in terms of money or female companionship. I also wanted to comment and say that like this game could have been super funny if they would have just like really shit on the bard more in the writing, because not only did he get to say terrible things, he was kind of championed like the entire game. Like the
Right.
narrator was kind of a shit to him, but if they would have just made him like have the worst luck ever while also being a shithead, it might have evened out a little more.
Yeah.
It's tough, I
But-
think, because playing as somebody that is just not just like mean and shitty, but just like that type of character that you really think he is, like the kind of a cowardly shit. Like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be fun to play, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
is true. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, they didn't quite get there in a way that made the Bardic character that I mean, I still didn't want to play. It still wasn't that fun to play as a character.
That's a good point.
But yeah, like it could have been a lot better. They just didn't quite get there. What about you, Matthew?
I am not going to stoop to the level the three of you have. There is no need to be positive. I am squarely against this horrid game. I'll admit that it picked up a little bit finally in the last third, maybe the last quarter, but that is just not good game. That's just not good game design. You can't have a boring, shitty game for 10 hours and then have 3 hours where it's okay. So, and then with the aforementioned just constant sexism and gay panic, it's just bleh. So fuck it. That's all I have to say about it. Listeners, if you spent money on this, I'm sorry. John will reimburse you.
What? No.
That's Canadian money though, so it doesn't really make a difference.
And I'm rallying for our
Let's
next
play
game.
money.
Mass Effect is fun. All right, guys.
It is.
Did we do it?
Well, I think it's worth perhaps mentioning that issues with this game's like design and narrative aside, the technical issues in it really did render it pretty much unplayable. I would have stopped were it not.
Yeah,
for
is this
problem.
game
surprised.
like I've never heard of a more like flawed remaster.
Yeah.
Like and that's worth saying that you guys are playing a remastered version of this game and it's still unplayable.
Mhm.
That sucks.
And I think this game is very popular on iTunes too. Like, it's not some obscure little game that we picked up. It has sold a lot of copies in a lot of different formats.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when I first came to the group with this suggestion, I specifically said that
My favorite game,
this is
The
a
Bard's
classic this is a classic RPG because I was under the impression that it was a classic RPG, and it clearly we quickly found out it's not, but you live and you learn.
That's life.
But hey, we're
We
going
won't
straight
pick the
from
game the
this
day
into
before we
a-
record next time.
We are doing a real
Yeah.
classic for the next game, so I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mass Effect is a bit more contemporary than some things we've chosen, but especially after Bard's Tale, we wanted something that would have perhaps a different socio-political perspective than Bard's
Yes,
Tale.
and we also should say that between the release of this episode and our first episode on Mass Effect, we are going to have a special holiday episode. I think we mentioned this last time, but a
Yeah.
special holiday episode with our good friend and host of the Axe of the Blood God podcast, Nadia Oxford. And we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
Radical Dreamers.
What is
Everybody
It is-
loves Radical Dreamers. It's sort
like
of a
the
sequel
Chrono
to Chrono
Trigger
Trigger.
spin-off,
Look at it now,
visual
being
novel
a text
game.
adventure.
Right?
That sounds really different and interesting.
It'll be fun to talk about. And I believe John did share. Did you share that in the Facebook group, John? The Let's Play. that?
No, Tyler did.
Oh, Tyler did. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Oh, good for
Yeah, it's
Tyler.
not a super easy thing to find. But if you want to follow along, check out our Facebook group. It's the Square Roots podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. And one of our super listeners has posted a link to a Let's Play, so check that out.
I'm going to be real here. That's what I am intending to
I mean,
do.
that's-
So I will not be commenting on the gameplay.
That's the way to do it, though.
Yeah.
Is there
I think
gameplay?
we're-
Isn't it just like a
Why
visual
not?
novel?
It's like a text adventure, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real gameplay per se, I think.
And you know what? There's one more thing I
Mhm.
want to say.
Say it.
And I'm going to say it because this is my time. As much as we complained about this game, and we did, and complained about having to play this game, and we did, I still enjoyed recording this series of podcasts with you guys.
Aw.
Because even though it was a terrible, terrible game, I had fun making fun of it and sharing the terrible experience with the three
Aw.
of you and with all of you listeners.
Yay.
Aw, happy
Thank you,
holidays.
Vanessa.
Yeah, that's my Christmas gift.
Yay.
Merry Christmas, listeners.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody give me one bean to split between the four of us. Since we're all sitting here at this table together in Texflorginida.
If I could be so forward with our listeners, I will say that if I would want anything for Christmas from our listeners, it would be some actual fucking emails in our inbox.
We have 2 new emails.
We do have 2
Oh
new
yeah.
emails.
Oh man. Sorry guys.
I will read them
Should
now.
we talk about
Hell
those?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do them right this minute. Hang on. That's what she said. Boom. We got a message from King Washington back on November the 27th, so a little older. It says, "Hey guys and gal, I recently subscribed to your podcast and I have had it on all day catching up. I love the banter and cast. I'm a Final Fantasy veteran, but I mainly play Square Enix games. Anyway,
for
keep
your
up the great
service.
podcast." King from West Monroe, Louisiana. And he did say, "P.S. Ever since the merger, I've been hoping for an ActRaiser reboot or an ActRaiser 3. That sounds rad as fuck. Maybe a Rad Racer 3? Soul Blazer 3? I would love to hear you guys talk about ActRaiser and the possibility of a non-possibility of an ActRaiser 3. What do you guys think? ActRaiser 3?
I have some things to say about that. I do not know what ActRaiser is.
It's fun.
There's 2 for the SNES that are a mix of world build. The games are a mix of SimCity, old SimCity style world building, and action platformer.
The first game is. The second game is 100% action platformer.
Yeah, I always thought it was like a SimCity kind of a thing.
Yeah, the first game is like that, where it's like an action platformer mixed with the SimCity element. But the second game, they're like, who cares about this role-playing SimCity part? We'll just do a boring platformer, and it sucked.
I feel like this. Well, you probably know better than I, but I know I played the second one.
Yeah, there's no world building, but Soul Blazer came out, which is sort of related, and that one was about building a town. Basically, you open chests, and the chests contain villagers and houses that went back to build your town. A bit like Dark Cloud, if you ever played that.
Okay.
Is that one also related to Terranigma and Illusion of Gaia?
Yeah.
There's a whole weird little trail there of games that never
we
really...
should explore that sometime. That's probably worth diving into for the podcast.
Quintet that made all those games.
I've always wanted to do Terranigma and Illusion of Gaia. All right, anyway, I'll move on to the next one, but I'll just say ActRaiser 3 or a remake, re-release sounds pretty rad to me, to be honest. I have fond memories of that game.
And thank you, King, for your letter.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. And we got another email from Kevin Engers on December the 5th, and he said, "Hey, gang, I started listening to Square Roots after I heard a Priority 1 message on on The Greatest Generation. Currently, I'm blasting my way through your backlog, and I'm just about done with Super Mario RPG, one of my favorite series, by the way. That's me. That's editorializing from Matt. I decided I would send you an email because you all sound so sad that no one ever does. Vanessa, guilting our listeners." He says, "Love the show and keep up the good work." Thank you so much, Kevin. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Hear from you all. We love you. And I...
We had some fun with our statistics and the countries that some of our listeners were located in the other day.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah,
Matt.
shout out to our we actually have a pretty decent little, like a good percentage of our mix is Australian. So shout out to our listeners down under. We have a smattering of Middle Eastern and Eastern European.
Yep, we've got a bunch of Western European countries, most of the Western European countries, and then I think we had like one
Philippines?
listener. No, I think we had like 30 listeners in Mexico, and then like 1 in Puerto Rico and 2 in Brazil. We have like 1 listener in the Philippines and 1 in Korea and like 30 in China.
I think we had
and a few
1
hundred
in Saudi
Japan.
Arabia.
Yeah,
We've
it's
got a
really
couple
interesting.
in Japan,
Yeah, man, we're a global property now, global brand.
That's right.
Borders can't
It's
contain
so
us.
amazing that, just 4 friends hanging out, having a good time, can reach people all over the world. Thanks, Internet. I'm gonna miss you.
Aw.
Just 4 friends living in a house together and getting real.
Yeah, now that
It's a real
net
world.
neutrality's
Real world
gone
Square
and
Roots.
we can charge more for this kind of stuff, our podcast is now $49.99 a week.
Oh no! No one who will pay for that. No one.
We're sponsored by Verizon now.
But I'll give you bonus content in the form of a different picture of me giving you the middle finger every day. No, I'm kidding. I love you all. All right, guys. Are we done here?
Yep. Let me just give a quick plug to ourselves. In that if you want to email us, we are at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. If you cannot be bothered to send an email, come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Actually, probably do that first. We're probably better at that than anything else.
Yeah.
Or you can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod.
Sometimes I do the Twitter.
Please rate, review, and subscribe. And if I see your review up on one of our stores, I will read it on the air and tell you. Yeah, stores like iTunes or Google Play.
Stitcher.
I guess you want.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Stitcher. I'll have to get you guys to print it out because I only have access to the Canadian ones, and we have like 3 reviews, so it's not the same thing.
Oh.
But yeah, I'll tell you how you leveled up, and we actually have a couple I think I could do, but I'm very sleepy, so I'm gonna wrap this up today.
Yeah.
Well, fuck off, listeners.
Aw.
See you later.
We
See
love
you
you.
later, dummies.
That might be better to do. Like I bet we'll get more ear listens on our first Mass Effect episode.
Okay, yeah, we'll do
Hey,
it then.
you know
I
what?
promise.
Actually, speaking of that, if I can take just a second. Hey, if I can ask you for one Christmas gift, why don't you maybe do us all a favor and refer us to one of your friends? Somebody that you think might enjoy the show. And if all of you do that, we would have double the listeners.
Yeah. Put our podcast in their stocking this year.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Record it to a tape.
We're a great stocking
Ooh,
stuffer.
I love that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Or just draw a little picture of your favorite hosts and put them in the stocking. And when your friend is like, "What is this?" You can't even draw. Be like, "Square Roots."
If I could ask for just one present, it would be the Destiny House of Wolves tights available in the Bungie store. I want to use them for working out. Extra large,
Jim,
please.
what do you want for Christmas?
I just want I don't know, man.
World peace?
I was gonna say that, but
to take back your Star Wars spoiler.
yeah, you know what? If I could, I'd go back 48 hours in the past and just go ahead and throw myself out of that Uber before I posted that screenshot.
No.
Yeah, boy. The thing is you took the bullet, because I would have fucked up eventually. So.
Oh, poor Jim. Now I feel bad again.
All right, guys, are we ready for this?
Well, everyone knows that there's only one thing I love in life, and that's
And-
money. So that's what I want for
Ghosts
Christmas.
who act like other ghosts but aren't ghosts, and then they spook you is the other thing that you love.
I want enough money to build a PlayStation made of
You already
money.
have one of those.
Do-do-do.
Oh, right.
What do you get the
Men
girl
on
who has
man.
everything?
Men on man. I'm answering your
I
question.
don't know.
Men
What's
on
Taco
man.
Bell giving away this year?
All right, guys, that's it for our Bard Sale series. For Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I am John Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
Here we come a wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. Our wassail cup is made of the rosemary tree, and so is your beer of the best barley. We are not beggars that beg. Oh no, that's not how it goes.
What a jerk. Knuckle-bee. Are we done?
Bye, everybody. Yeah, I think we're done.
A long time ago, way back in history, when all there was to drink was nothing but drops of tea, along came a man by the name of Charlie Ross, and he invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops. He must have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king. When to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. Lord bless drunken rat, the aching drum, and Trolley's pub as well. One thing you can be sure of, it's Charlie's beer they sell.
So all you lads and lasses, at 11 o'clock you stop. For 5 short seconds, remember Charlie Moss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, he must have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king. Unto his praises we shall always sing. Look what he's done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. Lord bless Charlie Moss, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A better remote a bushel of hoops, you steal around with your stick. The kind of lubrication to make your engines tick.
30 pence a wallop a day will keep away the quacks. It's only 8 pence halfpenny and only 6 in tax.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey! Must have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king. Unto his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. Lord bless Charlie Moss, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. The Lord bless Charlie Moss.
Oh, it's bad luck to be us. There's one more Bard adventure to discuss. Last time we went to bat, Bard scared women with a rat. Also, there were some homophobic slurs. I'm glad this is over because I seriously can't anymore.
You said
again.
homophobic.
You said
I know I
homo.
have to do
No,
it again.
leave
I'm
homophobic
sorry.
in there. It sounds like a rat
No,
term.
listen,
Oh,
we
no,
can do it
that'll
again,
go-
but I'm sticking with
it'll go at the end.
homophobic.
I got shy.